exploring gaming's
And
future,
yeah, it
development
could be
stories,
it could
privacy
be
insights,
it could
and
be like
mental
that.
health
And
innovations.
that's what this conversation reminds me of when we talk about it.
Yeah.
But then they got ate. They got eaten when they got to the
Oh
you
wow.
seen it. They got eaten when they got to the planet.
So your current game company, are there any games you're developing now that you can talk about?
Mm,
Anything on the horizon?
right now, not developing a game,
Okay.
developing an experience. Um, and the experience that we're developing is designed to help people and to help people relieve their mental stress.
Mhm.
So it's leaning more towards health app.
Mhm.
But I
Okay.
can't really talk
Yeah,
about it.
no worries, no
Yeah.
worries. Yeah.
But what I can say, it's not game design.
Okay.
It's more of a software design.
Mhm.
Um, at the moment, soon we'll start to.
Is there like a genre of a game that you have not designed yet you want to like I mean like have you if that makes any sense like a certain like have you not done like a wild country western game or a sports related game? Is there a game yet like genre you haven't done yet you want to do?
I'd really love to do. I'd really love to do. I've done open world games, and I would love to do another open world game. I would love to do an open world RPG, but like a proper one, in like modern times, like our current phase of reality would be really cool. Have a nice fantasy RPG.
So talking about privacy, are game companies able to do this? Like suppose someone playing like I don't know Mario Brothers, right?
Mhm.
Like suppose there's like Bob Jones, 15 years old. Are you able to like track how much he plays that game based on the data from the game console or anything like that, or
Just,
the internet or something? Or
depends. It depends. So if it's a live service game, sure, like we
okay,
can track that data. But if it's like you
and
download the game and
but
it's
does Bob Jones probably doesn't know that though, right?
he should know it.
Mm,
That's the
yeah,
fine. You should read the every single live service game has to show the user end user agreement, and that stuff is in there. That
okay.
they tell you exactly what they're going to understand about you, because when you press the I accept,
Mhm.
your profile begins.
Yeah.
Your data stream starts flowing, right? It starts uploading, and they know everything. How long you've played the game, what you're doing
Now
in the
do they
game,
does the
all
game
this.
console kind of like does it is it able to like record the conversations also?
That I don't know. At the
Okay.
console level, it's possible.
Okay.
At the console level, it's very possible. The phones do it,
Mhm. Yeah.
tablets do it. People still don't believe that, but
Yeah.
it's very,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that iPhones can track
Yeah.
visual data as
Yeah.
well. So like I challenge anybody to take a brand new iPhone and
Mhm.
then hold up a bag of chips and then see how long before you use an app and see an ad.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it is. So yeah.
What excites you about the future of the gaming?
Compliance.
Okay.
Compliance excites me.
Mhm.
I really, really believe that at some point, um, games game companies will be able to make a game and then input it somewhere, and then it will be available and ready for every console platform and launching platform. That excites me because that means we're getting closer to a metaverse like experience where people can exist in a space and then have access to everything. That is exciting.
So let's suppose like we'll take Bob Jones. Like, Bob Jones wants to like do a game.
Mhm.
Like how hard? I'm guessing it's really hard for one person to develop a game by themselves, right?
No, it's 1000% doable,
Mhm.
right? Um, Platforms like Unreal Engine, for example, they have a store where you can buy assets, you can buy audio, you can buy the blueprint scripts that you need to get your game to work properly. Many people develop games by
Mhm.
themselves. That doesn't mean that they're not to say if they're good or not.
Yeah.
That's really the thing. But
They
many,
can realistically want to market, do
yeah,
like customer discovery, MVP, all that kind of stuff.
yeah, you can definitely make a game by yourself. It's only gets complicated when you start making the statement, "I want to make money with my game."
Mhm.
Then
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, you have to start to
Yeah.
consider like, okay, are these marketplace, because you have to also keep in mind all of the assets you find like online, downloadable,
Mhm.
unlicensed, um, other people see them too, right? It's not just yours.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be doing things like, you want to own the intellectual property, it could be difficult. It could be difficult.
So I might be making this up. I think back in the day, long back in the day, it was like PlayStation versus Xbox for Nintendo.
Mhm.
I'm wrong, but Nintendo's really not in the game anymore, is it? Or they
Of
still
course. So the Nintendo is its own thing.
okay?
If you look at the marketing, if you look at any market report for Nintendo, you'll see that they kind of hold their own segment.
Mhm.
Still very valid.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch games still do okay.
Okay.
Like they still make money. I don't think that you can really compare them to consoles because
Okay.
they're not only in the console market, they're also in the handheld market
Okay.
because you can walk around with your Nintendo Switch, or you can be home and then put it into its base and then you have it in your TV as a
Okay.
console. Yeah.
And so usually when the games develop, you just develop for both PlayStation and Xbox, right?
Not always. Sometimes just for PlayStation, or you can just be on Xbox. It depends on.
Does like Xbox or
Yeah.
PlayStation ever come to a gaming station and say, "Hey, I know you developed this game. If you develop like I'm Xbox, they say, hey, only develop for Xbox. You develop for PlayStation, don't develop for us."
Ah.
Any kind of pressure like that.
So first of all, Xbox is Microsoft, and yeah, that happens. But that's usually in form of a deal, right?
Okay.
So what companies will do is here's a better example. So when Rise Son of Rome, which was being developed by the company I worked at first, Crytek, they had exclusivity deal with Microsoft to launch the new Xbox with this game as one of the first titles. It can happen like that, for sure. And if that deal is really good, you'll end up with like what was I'm trying to think of a good exclusive title for PlayStation. I can't remember. But yeah, those kinds of things happen, sure.